Hey guys, I'm Jax and this is my review for HotD. Now I don't have to tell you what that means, you clicked on this video, but just so there's no miscommunication between you and I of course mean that this is my review for this hot dog. One hot dog. Meat? Unknown. Sauces? Mustard and ketchup. Bun of mostly sugar, if we're gonna be completely honest. So how does this classical HotD stack up? That was a bad hot dog. 1 out of 5. So let's get straight to it. HotD finally started cooking with a fantastic, insane episode. I loved all of the scenes of dialogue and political maneuvering and all that stuff earlier on with the characters, but let's just get straight to it. We finally get a battle, and we finally get a cheeky little dance between a couple of dragons. Now, I'm probably not the only non-book reader that was a little surprised at the face-off that we got. I wouldn't have thought that we would have gotten Aegon versus his brother Aemon versus some old lady. You know, you remember her. She's in a couple of scenes every now and then, and every time she talks and speaks and does anything, she's acting like she didn't kill hundreds, if not potentially thousands, of innocent civilians in season 1. You know, you remember that scene where she bursts out of like some kind of tunnel system situation and just destroys and kills and maims and probably, let's just say a minimum ballpark, 700 innocent peasant civilians. But she's royalty, so she's like, oh, they're not actually real people. I actually didn't kill my 10 enemies, even though they're all just standing right there. I didn't kill them. Did I kill any peasants? I don't think so, because I'm high royalty and I don't even consider them people, so I didn't actually, I'm not a mass murderer. If you can't tell, I hate her and I want her to die. Oh, that's right, she did. Justice for the Commonfolk. Justice for the little one. Justice for just that guy who's working at the bakery, whose entire family were murdered when they went to see the new king's coronation. He's like, I don't want to go, I got a job. But they were forced to go. They don't care who's king, but they were applauding, clapping, because that's what everyone was doing. And then boom, a dragon bursts out for no reason, kills everybody he's ever loved, and now he's baking alone and sad and miserable. Justice for that baker. Justice for all of those people. Really? This is a win for everybody who's ever been downtrodden by some kind of high, rich, snobby, disgusting old white lady. And sure, she was killed by someone else who's royalty, but he's got an eye patch and he's got some weird, I'm an anime character in real life swagger, so I just like him more. Also, he hasn't murdered a bunch of innocent civilians for no reason. The people in this battle that he killed, they're soldiers. They signed up for that. I mean, they didn't sign up for it. Obviously, they were conscripted. What I'm trying to say is I'm very happy that old hag lady, whatever her name is, Rhaenyra, Viserys, whatever her name is, she's dead. And I was like, pretty happy. And I think I'm more happy because it was such a good battle and it tricked me. Like, he flies in on the dragon. He's like, I'm a big dragon. And he burns his brother. And I'm like, you missed the old lady. What are you doing, Aemon? I mean, it's probably not his fault. He's only got one eye, obviously, so, like, his aim was a bit off. So he burned the wrong one. I mean, obviously he didn't. He obviously wanted to kill his brother so he could be king. I get it. I actually do get it. But, oh my lord, when old lady hagwoman was flying away, I was so disappointed. I'm like, oh. They even have another battle where they're twisting and turning in the sky and there's fire going everywhere. How did she survive that? Because they're just triggered. It's a show. They're up and down and with a roller coaster of emotions. And she's flying away and then he just boom, neck, dragon on dragon neck action. It's good stuff. Oh, I almost feel bad how good I felt when she just fell to her death and crushed the castle and just so good because I really thought she was going to survive. And I was going to have to be that one guy doing his review for this episode being like, yeah, I guess the battle was good, but she survived, so I kind of hate this episode. But no! I can officially say, best episode ever. So I will say I am pretty surprised that Aegon got killed so early in this season, so early in the show. But I love that about Game of Thrones, and I guess I love that about HotD. I just love when kings just drop like flies, putting someone else on the throne, mixing stuff up, and just keeping the plot and the story moving forward and just making it truly feel like Thrones did. Unpredictable, wild, what's gonna happen. It is tragic that Aemon's killed Aegon, but you could always see that he kind of despised him. He's been mocking and teasing him throughout the whole series, and you could see that building up, especially in the brothel scene from last week when he was all naked and getting mocked by his brother. You could see that, like, all the things that he held on from childhood, he still carries that with him. And then when we get the council meeting earlier in the episode, you can see that he is undermining him in every single moment. And so when opportunity strikes, Aemond, unless maybe he accidentally did it because he's only got one eye and he got the wrong dragon, but he definitely didn't get the wrong dragon. He found an opportunity where he's like, well, if Aegon's going to be so stupid to come into a battle and ruin my game plan, my battle stratagem of sneaking up, of hiding the biggest dragon in the world under some trees, and then he rises like, surprise, big dragon time. So yeah, I love that. He didn't plan to kill him in this moment, but I guess he was always planning to at some point. If dragons happen to be in a battle together, yeah, I'll kill him, like who cares? Honestly, for the show itself, I feel like it's great to keep the momentum moving forward with plots and like situations like this, but just like on a character level, I feel like there was maybe a little bit more like character stuff emotionally to kind of mine from Aegon and Aemond. I think they're two of my favorite characters, maybe two of the only characters I really enjoy because they have such a good dynamic together in scenes together. They feel really fleshed out as two brothers. One of them is obviously more suitable to be king. One of them is just some drunk idiot who doesn't want to be king. And I really like that dynamic. Like that moment where the king's like, they've got like the big map up and they're putting all the pieces everywhere. He's like, no, but I wanted Harrenhal. And then Aemon's like, no, Rook's Rest. We need this because of A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And he just lists all these really clever reasons because he's like thought about it. But the other guy's like, no, but I wanted Harrenhal. That scene really reminded me of two siblings playing Monopoly. And they're arguing over who's landed on which square in Monopoly and who owes who money. And I don't know, just had that classic siblings fighting over Monopoly. But instead of Monopoly, a continent filled with actual real people. Ah, don't you love royalty ruining it for everybody else? oh, delightful fun. I'm sure I'm not the only one who thinks this, but if I'm getting a classical hot dog and it's not like loaded with a bunch of different stuff, I think I need to get 2 dogs per bun. Otherwise the bun to dog ratio is just off. I want more meat in my bun. Is that too much to ask for? So the battle itself outside of the dragons and the fighting of the dragons, which was spectacular and incredible and looked so good. The battle itself with all the men fighting and running about, fine, pretty awesome. Like, I mean, it was spectacular and cool and it looks really great. But I'm just so sick of this show. I feel like every single episode this season, they just keep mentioning A Song of Ice and Fire. And it's just so annoying. It's like, stop referencing this book series that like makes me really happy for like a millisecond before I get really sad that it'll never be complete and never be finished. And then talking about A Song of Ice and Fire over a montage of the battle starting. Like, she's like, son, have I told you the story about all these ice zombies that the dragons are gonna kill? And I'm like, shut up. And I'm just like so emotionally checked out of the zombies and the dragons killing the zombies and all of that stuff. I don't want to hear about it. They ruined that. Stop referencing it in your show, which has nothing to do with the ice zombies. Stop mentioning the White Walkers. Stop mentioning them. And to mention them in the hype as the battle gets ready and then as the battle starts, I'm zoned out. I'm just like, oh, now I hate this battle, kind of. And the only saving grace was that as soon as the battle actually got into gear and the dragons are coming out and Criston Cole's like, I've got a plan. This is all going to plan. But then the king rocks up because his mum was like, hey, do the thing we wanted you to do as a king. Nothing. Well, of course, he's not going to do nothing. He's going to use his dragon to fly into a battle and ruin a plan and die. As soon as like actual things happen that mattered with the characters and the story and the plot that we're telling, I'm back in. But why start a battle with like, oh, have I told you the story of this book series that everybody loves but kind of hates now, and it'll never get finished. There are ice zombies. We're all going to kill the ice zombies. Ooh, shut up, Budget Daenerys. Shut up. You can tell your son that story any other time. Why ruin the beginning of your main battle for the season? Just infuriating. Luckily, every single second outside of that like 3-minute montage dialogue scene, fantastic. One of my favorite moments of this episode was when Criston Cole was talking to that other guy, whoever his face is, and he's like, we're not going to fight during the day. That's crazy. Let's fight at night. Like, you know, so it's dark and they can't see what's going on. And he's like, no. Daytime's going to look way more spectacular. We want to make people know that we're confident in our visual effects for our dragons, so we're going to make it during the day. Damn reason and logic, we're doing the fight during the day because this is a TV show and we want to make it look good. Also, lots of people complained last season about our day for night stuff, and they were like, it's too dark. Also, the long night, it was too dark. So let's just avoid any chances of anyone complaining that our battle sequence was too dark. Set it during the day. That's clever. Criston Cole's a clever guy. Not clever enough to pull out when he's having sex with the Green Queen, but who can blame him? So Doctor Who's Matt Damon is hanging out at Harrenhal, and he's getting poisoned by some kind of evil witch lady that is there, definitely, or isn't, and is in his head, and he's just drinking some kind of really off milk or something. I don't know. Either way, he's having some funky dreams. And the one dream that I thought was particularly funny is he's like chasing some like hooded guy through the castle, and then the guy turns around and it's him, but he's cosplaying as Aemond. Just really funny. I don't know. And last but definitely not least, Budget Littlefinger, Littlefoot, makes maybe the sickest burn I've ever heard. He was all like, "That castle's more crippled than I am." Oh! Sick burn, bro.